Good morning, everyone. Today it's a pleasure to talk about an important subject in our lives, and it's about the importance of education in our society. Sorry. First of all, one of the great reference or challenge that Egypt has at present is the reference of education. But does someone really ever know what is real education? Well, the education is the way that culture comes to people. That means that it is a process of knowledge heritage, wherewith if what's transmitted is good, the result will be good, and if what's transmitted is wrong, the result will be wrong. One day I read a Chinese proverb that says, if you want a year of prosperity, you must plant rice. If you want 10 years of prosperity, you must plant trees. If you want prosperity forever, you must educate a population. And that means that a country that invests in education is a country that invests in people and the society, because their life quality is getting better, then the results will be better, and that becomes to development. To get this development, we should change the educational and social structure and our attitude. Also, it requires the participation of our family, our parents, the students, the teachers, the government. Remember that the base begins at home with parents, because it begins with morals and values. And at the second place, the base for the teachers, by their preparation of things and their didactic culture. At third place are the students, by their positive attitude and their participation and knowledge and analysis and things. At last is the government, by their control and their invests in education programs.
Okay, Sharif, your great expectation about the future. Your own great expectation about the future. How would you like the future to be?
Well, to have a good future.
In 2 minutes, please. In 2 minutes.
To have a good job, a good future about my job, and to have work, be good in my studies that I'll have in university, and these things. For my work, for my study.
It's not enough. You have to complete. Classify your job, talk about your job, talk about your life in the future, talk about your role in the future.
Well, my job to be a doctor, dentist.
What kind of job would you like to adapt?
A dentist, to be a dentist.
So, please, why? Please.
Well, I loved it. Since I was just young, I saw that my teeth were going off, so I just took it off. And that's the reason why. These things, I want to be happy in my future, have a good future.
Okay, thank you.
So before I begin, I wanted to ask everybody a question, which is, what is the first thought that comes to your mind when you hear the name Egypt? Could anyone answer? Yes, please.
I think it's because I grown it and
Your homeland, mainly. If you please.
I think the culture and the history of Egypt.
The first thing that came to my mind is the unity. So I would like to also begin with a short story about Egypt, which consists of 3 chapters. First chapter I call the first book. In the BC years, the Prophet Musa came with the Jewish holy book to Egypt, and he spread the Jewish religion all over the world, which also makes Egypt be the country which the first religion made by God appear in it. Chapter 2, which I call the second book. since that the Holy Family of Jesus came from Bethlehem in Palestine to Egypt to spread the Christian religion from Egypt all over the world. I wanted to support this by saying many saints lived on the lands of Egypt, and also the Pope of the Orthodox is in Egypt. The last chapter, which I call the seal, is the Prophet Muhammad came with the Muslim religion, and the Azhar Mosque was built in Egypt to be the lighthouse to all Muslims all over the world. And it was the lighthouse for all Muslims all over the world, spreading the right way of the Muslim religion. And this is the end of the story. So I would like to also say that Egypt has been the country that have gathered all the religions, and all the people that are subscribed to every religion live on it happily and coexisting with each other. Like a few days ago, Sham Nisim festival, Muslims and Christians were coexisting in it happily, and nobody differentiated on anybody, nobody was racist. This festival didn't have to do anything with religion, it had to do something with the country itself, and Muslims and Christians celebrated it together. So, and one more thing I wanted to say, since that the Middle East is being torn apart since the beginning of appearance of some terrorist organizations like ISIS being tearing the Middle East apart, like in Iraq and other countries, I see Egypt is standing as steadfast as a soldier, full of strength, pride, repelling any danger that comes to it. And one more thing I wanted to say, that Egypt, no matter how many occupiers come to it, they return hopeless and empty-handed with no glory. Also, Egyptians take their pride when they come, because when they enter Egypt, they think that the point of weakness having Muslims and Christians in it, so they try to make them hate each other, but they didn't know that this was the most strong wall in their castle, which is once you begin to do that, they become stronger and more connected to each other. And also Egypt is like a blooming flower in the middle of a wasteland, an oasis in the middle of the desert, full of joy, happiness, pride, strength. Every beautiful thing is in Egypt. No matter how many bad things, no matter how many dangers siege it from all of its sides. I want to say Egypt is a very great country. And also I wanted to say that occupiers, when they come to Egypt thinking that they took its pride and turned its castles and fortresses into ruins, and after burning its houses, there is a small flame which is the Egyptian soul under the ashes of these ruins, waiting to explode in their faces and taking away their pride. And I wanted to say one more thing also, that is, once you begin to attack Egypt and coming without peace, every inch you take to Egypt from Egypt's lands, you're not adding an inch to your lands, but you're adding an inch to your grave. So when you attack Egypt, you're digging your own grave. And one more thing is that you will have the biggest grave ever seen, to be an example for everyone. And Egypt and all of that, because the Egyptians elements, which are Muslims and Christians, have been united all since the dawn of history, like against the Crusades and many great occupiers around the history. So I wanted to say one more thing to anyone who thinks to get in war with Egypt, that he's going to have two things, which is a fist in the face and a lot of pain at the end. About the future, doesn't it?
Your great expectations.
Yes, my great expectations. About my great expectations of future, it doesn't have much to do about me, because I would get what God have given me or destined for me. What I most care about is the whole planet, the whole world. I hope that world peace could not become a dream but a true. That we could teach the coming generation that how to keep this peace and how to make more peace. And I hope that they could also keep the environment safe. This is one of my great expectations and my dreams, because our life also depends on this, on the global warming, and I think that factories, and there should be factories also play a great role in things like this, and the global warming and wars and all this should stop, and things like this should stop, and I wish Earth could become more of a evolved planet and better planet for the sake of the humans, for the sake of God at least, so that He could feel that we did something good in our life, and these are all my expectations.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'm here to talk about 7 secrets of success in our life. The secrets are simple, and they are secrets because there are few people who realize the true value of it. Use them wisely and trust me, your life will not be the same again. So the first secret is our soul creates our experience of individual reality. And if you want to improve your experience, try to improve your thoughts. As man is the product of his soul, what he thinks he becomes. Mahatma Gandhi who said this. And the second secret is happy is step-by-step realization of our chosen goals and proposal in our life. So if we want to be happy, we have to choose to be really clear about what we want. And Anthony Robbins said setting goals in your life is turning the invisible into visible life. The third one, if you're loved to be a man that sweep street like Mikhalo painted pictures, or sweep streets like Beethoven composed music, and even like Shakespeare painted pictures. So what I mean to say that if you want to be the chosen one in your field, the best one, you have to gather constantly your specific knowledge from the right books and the right teachers. So specific knowledge is the key word, and knowledge without a practical value is worthless. So the fifth one is, yes, there's a second one that I forgot to say, that a very great journey that needs to say for its competition is 3 things: a desire, a map, and a firm movement on the direction of the map. Yes, this is the third one. The first one is, if your choice that you're poor, it's not your spirit, but it's a sign that there's a lot more to be learned. So the third one is, when the world keep offering you better and better with your services, world reward you with more and more money. So Dr. Albert Einstein said, try not to become a man of success, but try to be a man of success. So my friends, would you like to supercharge your journey with success? Would you like to program your mind every day? Would you like to pick your performance and program your mind and repeat speed? Or would you like to cut down years struggling and fighting trial and errors? Would you like to experience amazing miracles and magical results in your life? So, as a beginning, start from tomorrow. Thanks. I would like to be a man of success, not man of value. Because if I'm success in my work, people will respect me. And also, I would like to be, when I grow up, a military police officer. So I can stop violence and people making bad things in the street, or stealing houses, or killing and murder. That's all I got.
Military and police officer at the same time.
Yes.
Military
Yes.
and police. Military and police.
Yes.
Military and police. That would be.
Military and police officer?
Yes, military and police
There's
officer.
something
Like,
that exists in the army called military police.
Yes.
There's something that exists in the army called military police.
like someone that I can, it's like spying on people who's making bad things. So
Excuse me, Balima, why would you like to be a man of success, not a man of value?
people will respect me in my work.
Not always respect you when you are successful, but if you don't have values,
Of course I will have values, Because values is the first step in my
You
life.
said that I want to be a man of success.
Yes.
Rather than,
So when I said that, I didn't mean that I don't have any value, but
so you are
values.
better against I think you said Martin Arthur.
No,
You said
Dr.
that
Albert
you
Einstein.
should be man
Yes.
of value.
Yes,
rather than
Dr.
man of success.
Yes, Dr. Albert Einstein said
You are against him.
against it.
Yes, his own expectations.
So, all of my dream that see the world in peace, and people have a good educational times. So people can always think with good way, not the bad way, or killing or murder people without any reason. Like in South Africa or in America, from 3 months, as Bassem said, unity. But two boys killed from the Muslims. But why is that? And also in ISS, the people kill without any reason. Only that be the king of the world. Well, that's not a reason to kill. So that's it.
Thank you.
Good morning everyone, my name is Regina Khalaf. I'm in class 6A and today I speak about Guinness record. But first I speak about records underwater, like the sailfish. The sailfish is the fast fish. It can swim about 110 kilometers per hour and no one can catch it because it's so fast. And about the slowest fish is the seahorse. Seahorse is so slowest. It's swim about 0.002 per hour and anyone can catch it. And about the heaviest animal ever is the blue whale. Blue whale is so heaviest. His tank is more than 1 elephant and more, and his blood vessels is so big too. And his heart like the speed of a big car. And his weight maybe 13 tons, and his length maybe 213 or more meters. And about the records in the land, the deadliest snake is the black mamba. Black mamba is so dangerous to us. It can kill 10 humans and more. And about the Julius bird eater, it grew about 28 centimeters. And about the tallest animal ever in the land is the giraffe. Giraffe can be tall about 5.5 meters. And about the records about the malls, the biggest mall is the Dubai Mall. Dubai Mall in Emirates had got about 1,000 shops and is the most mall had the most shops. And about the second is WEM or West Edmonton Mall in Canada. It had about 800 shops. It's the second in the world. And about the Mall of America had 300 fewer shops. It's the latest or the slowest. The fewer. And about the stadium, Travis Stadium is the biggest. It can hold about 225,000 persons. And about Indian Speedway is the biggest speedway in the world. And about the records about language, the biggest language or the most language we use it is English. It had about 1 million words and more. It can get from another language like the Chinese or that and become in English. And about the best speaker or the most speakers in the world is Mandarin Chinese. Mandarin Chinese has got about 1 billion speakers and more. That means 500 million speakers. And about the alphabet, Cambodian alphabet has got 74 alphabet. It's the most. And about the fuse is the rocket language in the state of Solomon Islands. It had 11 letters only. And about the sport, I think Ronaldo had got the most and get the most goals in the World Cup. It had got about 15 and that more than Gerd Miller 3 goals ever. And about Linus Sellers had got about the most medals, about 15 or more. I think 18 medals in the Olympic. And I want to see to you these videos about the records. That is the sailfish, that's the first fish I think. And that is the seahorse, that's the slowest. And that is the blue whale, the heaviest ever. That's a mystery because we don't know how many blue whale in that time. And that is the black mamba, still dangerous because it can kill more than 10 humans. And that is the Julius bird eater. It's so long because it's the long spider thing. It can grow to 28 centimeters. And this is the sleepless animal. I think that I forget it. The sleepless animal, it sleeps about 20 hours a day and wake up 4 hours. And that is the giraffe, that's the tallest. And that's the Mandarin Chinese. Mandarin Chinese had got the most language. The most language speakers. It had about 1 billion speakers and more. And that's the Cambodian alphabet. It had got the most alphabet, 74 letters. And that is the Dubai Mall in Emirates. It had got the most shops And that's Westminster Mall. It had got 100 shops. And that's Mall of America had the fewest. And that's Turf Stadium that can hold about 225,000 persons. And it's the biggest in the world. And this Indian Speedway is the biggest speedway in the world. And that's Ronaldo that had about 15 and is the best in football. And that's Larissa, it had got about 18 medals in the Olympics. And thanks for listening.
Regina, the same. What are your great expectations about the future?
About the future, first of my job, I want to be a doctor, not a doctor. Because I love reading and writing too and writing, and I want to know about more news and like that. And when I was small, I was reading some expert and news too, and today I want to be reporters, and the small reporters like the young reporters. In America there were the young reporters too, to be reporters in the future. And in Egypt we want to make that, but there aren't. And about the future, I want to be more good or happy too, and don't be anything in Egypt or in our world.
Hi everybody, my name is Mustafa Amir and I'm in Prime 6. Today I'm gonna to talk about two important and vital topics. They are fast food and snacks. Of course, most of us enjoy having fast food and snacks. So I would like to give you an idea about the history of fast food. Fast food started in America in 1602 at the White House, where the potatoes were served in the French manner. But in our country, fast food started in 1975 under different names. The most famous and popular of them all are McDonald's and Kentucky. There's a video that I wanted to show you, but for sure I can't, because this may cause a big problem for someone who I can't hear. So I'm going to tell you what this video tells people. This video shows how a famous restaurant uses thick chickens in the meals that they cook for the customers. And it also shows how they cut the head of the chicken, and this is not Islamic and not healthy, because the blood is kept inside the chicken's body, and this is very dangerous to our health. That was about fast food. But as for snacks like Chipsy, Twinkies, chocolate bars, and many other kinds, they are harmful to our health. Of course, you will ask me why. Okay, I'll tell you. Because it contains preservatives. And they cause overweight and serious diseases. Surely, these snacks are delicious, and most children, even adults, like eating them a lot. We shouldn't eat them a lot, and we should to try to stop eat them completely. Some companies write on the packet that it doesn't contain preservatives. Okay, if this is true, why doctors advise us to stop eating them? That means that these companies lie to us. And so please, don't believe these companies and try to stop eating snacks. That's all. I hope you have got my message. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed my. When I grow up, I hope that I be a pilot, because when I was kid, I always travel in the plane. My mom sometimes she is afraid, but I was happy when I travel in a plane. Sometimes I saw the room of the pilot, and that have a lot of buttons that I wanted to know what these buttons make, and this is confident. I wanted to know everything in the plane, and I hope Egypt always have a good education. Egypt, because I hope so. Every day I dream that I leave Egypt, because it doesn't safe, and the education is worse that you know, and this everything.
Thank you.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to tell you this thing about woman roles. Since ever, women have played in a vital role in the humanity, because when we ensured an exploding the human series, because we have ensured and exploding the human series. Over us replace many decisions about family group. The war and crisis in this thing. The war and crisis and difficult times helped us to take position in economical, sociality, and political things in the society. The women are able to be mothers, students, businesswomen, and leaders, and many things. I have two questions. Have you thought what happened if you didn't have a mother? Yes.
The human species will extinct.
Okay. The other questions. Have you seen how many times the woman can do? How many things the woman can do?
I have seen lots of things that women can do, like raising their children, teaching them good morals and things like this.
Okay, the woman can do everything because she can help us in the education and everything, because women are everything. Remember, the woman's mission is to give life for humanity and give humanity to life. Thanks. Okay, when I grow up, I want to be an engineer because I like math, and also I want to be a biologist because also I like science. And because I want to be an engineer because to be a very big thing in Egypt. I want to Egypt to continue and be something very big. And this is my future.
Actually, the very good point, Mr. Muhammad, I mean that for the presenter to be asked a question, to see his fluency and his quick thinking, and I hope all of you to succeed and to be the best speakers, and God willing, the best speaker for primary stage is gonna to be announced in the line for the second Sunday, and the best speaker for the preparatory stage as well the next Sunday, to be prepared after Mr. Amin's assurance and acceptance for all the participants who participated in the competition to go to this island or any touristic site to have a practical experience with tourists. Thank you for Mr. Mohammed Al-Amin, the person. Without him, this meeting won't exist. So I fully thank you and appreciate his presence and appreciate his encouragement all the time. So thank you for Mr. Muhammad Rashad, Mr. Raghib, Zajiri, Mr. Ashraf. I don't want to forget Mr. Fuad, our creative photographer. Well, thank you for you all. Thank you. Ms. Layla, thank you.
Thank you very much. And the results will be announced on Sunday. The results will be announced on Sunday, next Sunday.